MSNBC, the place for...
And an Emmy-winning documentarian, rabble-rousing author of the upcoming book, Mad Cow, Mad Dow, our friend Michael Moore, ladies and gentlemen. Tribune of the people. All right. You know I've been a fan of this book for a long time, The War Against Boys, because I'm still a boy. So let me just start off talking about that a little bit, because, you know, feminism from its beginnings has taken a lot of forms. First, it seemed to be about bra burning. Remember that, Mike, when all the wrong women were burning their bras?
I missed that.
Yeah, that was like the late 60s.
Any pictures of that? Or?
Then it seemed to be about, well, we can do whatever we want sexually. And then it was about the workplace. And now it seems to be about kicking ass. All these movies, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, Charlie's Angels, Xena, Princess Warrior, everyone seems to be kicking a lot of ass. And...
Well, 'twas ever so. I mean, there have always been women warriors. You go back to the Amazons. There were generals in the book of Judges, and Deborah was a general. And go back to the 1960s and 70s. James Bond, those heroines were not especially dangerous.
James Bond?
In the James Bond.
Pussy galore. If you will.
What's not happening in feminism, the current incarnation on the campus, is not about females being powerful. It's about victimology. In the typical women's studies course, or if you looked at the website of the Ms. Foundation or the National Organization for Women, it's about women as victims and men as predators, and how we're preyed upon by the capitalist, patriarchal, oppressive society.
Yeah.
Sort of a vagina monologue.
Exactly.
You know, philosophy.
That vagina monologue.
Which is, you know, a little bit.
Women are from Venus, men are from hell. Okay, that's the philosophy.
Well, but let me just ask you a couple questions. I didn't do that well in history, but I just seem to remember...
Except recent history, right?
Yeah, how many women have like created factories that have polluted this environment? How many women have started wars that have annihilated millions of people? How many women have, you know, done things? I mean, I think most of the crap in this world came from a guy. I mean, it's like, you know...
please, yes, how wonderful.
It's true, Bill.
Please, that is so not true.
Self-hating male.
And you should... No, I'm not...
And women are all loving and
No, I think the fact that we were able to get away with all this crap for tens of thousands of years, and we're still in charge, it's a pretty good deal, Bill. You know? And women make up 53% of the population. They vote more than we vote. And yet...
And they don't vote for women.
And Congress, right, that's what I mean. Congress is still like just 10 to 15% women. They still vote for us, even though we are representative of most of the evil in this world.
And that gets me back to my point, which is this is such
a great deal.
I don't buy your theory that women always did this in history. I never knew this, that women could kick ass every time they get into trouble.
Oh, but they've been doing it since Greek mythology. I mean, earlier than the 60s, and, you know, and I loved her, Pussy Galore. We've been doing it for Shakespeare. We've been doing, I mean, women have been kicking ass for...
I'm saying in entertainment as a form of fantasy, the reverse stereotype. I wasn't saying it was the norm. What I'm saying is it's always been fascinating. Joan of Arc. These are characters that are intriguing. So the stories have lived on, and they
I think it's intriguing because we as guys think, geez, what if like women really did like take over and kick our ass for everything we've done?
But that's the thing is that they wouldn't and they can't.
They will. They will and they can't.
Oh, I know they can in the movies. I know you can in the story. I know.
But don't we all just really try to fake it well? I mean, you know, I think that we're all just doing that. I mean, one of my characters that I play on my show is a descendant, if you will, of Joan of Arc. and you know, this is what we do. I don't know if it's reverse
stereotypes, because most women are not warriors and in combat. You're absolutely right.
And if they
haven't been given the opportunity, just like they haven't been given the opportunity. I agree with you to screw up.
If there was an opportunity right here, if there was a madman here right now, every girl in the audience would cower behind her boyfriend, even if it was even if it was a guy who for 5 years had been trying to get into her pants, and she'd been saying to him, "I just like you as a friend." Suddenly he'd be the man.
Down on the mat.
Suddenly he'd be the man, and they would want him to do the ass kicking.
Right now. Kick his ass right now.
When trouble starts, they want the man to do the ass kicking. Women are not kicking ass. They want the man to do it.
You're so bitter.
I did.
I'm not bitter. I'm just saying that this is bull. This whole idea that women are out there kicking ass and being the physical ones.
Look,
They still,
First of all, I'm sure that a great portion of those films being made are being produced by men, and it's a male-dominated fantasy to begin with.
Yeah.
So, as I'm
good
sure,
one.
Yes.
And a good one.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that.
as I'm sure that, some of the fantasies you've had are driven by your own, prurient kind of, swinging interest.
Well, that's true.
I've known you for a long time, Bill. I've seen you go through a lot of changes about chicks, so, Don't get too,
Whereas you stayed the same about chicks.
That's right, honey. And it's always been hot.
Yeah. But,
and I noticed it never exactly turned you off.
You guys have like some kind of past thing here?
Oh, I've known Bill since he used to put me on at 2 o'clock in the morning at Catch a Rising Star in New York and torture me to keep me there so he could check me out. But I've forgiven him.
Oh, the sins of the past revisiting. But,
people like it. It's kind of titillating because they're not quite sure where it's coming from. Because frankly, the whole warrior princess thing is wearing my ass out.
Because it's baloney. It is. Women are not going to kick ass.
It's just a movie.
Yeah, it's just...
What do we care?
We're talking about two different things. We seem to be talking about real life, and then we're talking about media. I mean, movie is a movie. So it's fantasy-based anyway.
Leave the movie, walk out in the real world, the men are still going to be in charge. Big Dick Cheney is still going to be calling the shots, I mean...
But it is a new phenomenon where all these women are actually kicking men's asses. And I'm just saying, in real life, they wouldn't. If trouble started, they wouldn't kick ass. They would go to the man who is with them, and they'd have him. Women always say, killing is never right, except when it's a spider, a rapist, or Hitler, and then they want us to do it.
What's wrong with that?
I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. I'm just saying, be honest about it.
I mean, there are
kicking
sex
ass.
differences. There's what the French call la différence. And everyone understands men and women are different, except in gender studies, where they say it's invented by culture.
Yeah.
That is the problem, is that many students on our college campus are indoctrinated by these professors who believe that there's no such thing as masculinity and femininity. It was invented by society, and that's just miseducation.
Why is it, though? Why do you think that we don't live as long? We lose our hair and you don't. Our brains shrink as they grow older and yours don't.
Biology.
Yeah, but why? Why though?
Mother Nature.
Why does nature want to get rid of us?
Well,
maybe because we're like...
You said you were the one that... You guys are the ones that keep growing up. Well,
That's
sure you are.
I'll tell you what the bottom line is. Women are definitely more spiritually evolved than men. And that's really kind of where it's all coming from.
You score higher on the SAT?
Where do you pull that out?
I personally didn't.
Wait. I'm curious. I mean, that's an interesting thing to say. Women are more spiritually involved.
We're doing your spiritual work for you. That's what we're here for.
What ass are you pulling this out of, is what I want to know. I mean, it's easy to say, but what are you basing it on?
The ancient ass of Kabbalah.
Oh, Kabbalah. All right. Something Madonna got into is suddenly the religion of our time.
No, honey, I happen to be Jewish, and it's something I've been studying for 6 years.
Okay, but the Jews don't even allow women in the temple.
Wait, I am interested in this. So how we're picking up the slack for their lack of spirituality?
Women are just, come into this world more spiritually evolved.
I mean, I agree with you.
It's end of discussion.
Well,
it's not the end of discussion. And that's the problem, as I'm sure you would agree, is that men in our society aren't just different. We're wrong. We're less. We're somehow needing to be civilized.
No, not at all. That's not what
you just said it.
No, that's not the point.
You said you're more evolved.
You're taking it like on some sort of earthly, the physical level.
You said you're more spiritually
No, I'm saying that women, part of our job is to do this, help men do their spiritual work. I don't think that's diminishing a man. It's just saying that, we're talking about all this kind of physicality and, this sort of angry, dissertation about women kicking ass. On a certain level, that's our job. But I'm talking about bringing it to, into some higher realm other than just the physical.
But, there's not a lot of good evidence that women are kinder or more moral than men.
It's not necessarily about being kinder or more moral.
But you said you're spiritually higher than we are.
more involved in...
Wouldn't that be kinder and more moral?
Just on a strictly spiritual level, yes.
Well, I'm just
Women
thinking...
that
more
doesn't
spiritual?
mean that every single woman, attains it or does their work. But if they
or
do...
does the best with it, but no. I mean,
if they do, if they're on the spiritual path, part of their work is to help elevate men's souls.
I'm so sorry. We'll be back. Well, the Chandra Levy Congressman Gary Condit scandal, that is the story that just won't go away. Everyone now is weighing in. Today, O.J. Simpson and Robert Blake said if he did keep his wife and kill his girlfriend, it just shows how out of touch Washington is with real America.